Hi there! In this video, I'm going to share some of my favorite and least favorite paths and streets to bike on in Old Town Scottsdale. I'll share with you how to get to places like historic Old Town, the Fashion Mall, dining and shopping around Fifth Avenue, the Western Spirit Museum, art galleries, even hiking Camelback Mountain or hiking around Papago Park, all without a car. For context, I live in Scottsdale and I ride a bike for everything. So I'm sharing with you my favorite routes based on comfort and scenery. For the purposes of this video, I'll break down my preferred routes by whether they're predominantly east-west or north to south. First, here are my favorite east-west streets for crossing Old Town. Just north of Old Town is Chaparral Road. Chaparral Road connects the Greenbelt to the Arizona Canal and even all the way over to Invergorden, which I'll come back to later. For the most part, Chaparral Road has generous bike lanes and pretty light traffic. One example use case for Chaparral Road is, let's say you're riding on the Greenbelt and you want to make it to the Echo Canyon trailhead of Camelback Mountain. In this case, I would take the Greenbelt to Chaparral. I would take Chaparral all the way over to Invergorden and then go up Invergorden to McDonald. So in this case, I would use Chaparral to cut across the width of Scottsdale. My favorite streets south of Old Town to ride east-west is 2nd Street. 2nd Street has two complementary personalities. One personality exists east of the Civic Center and one exists west of the Civic Center. To the east of the Civic Center, the 2nd Street bike path is actually an offshoot of the Greenbelt. So you can take the Greenbelt and just naturally turn directly onto the 2nd Street bike path. And that bike path will lead you all the way up straight to the front doors of the Civic Center Library. West of the Civic Center and west of Drinkwater Boulevard, 2nd Street has a bike lane on the road, but the traffic is so light that it's not really a factor. I recommend using 2nd Street to get to historic Old Town or the Farmers Market, to get to the Western Spirit Museum or the art galleries on Main, and to get to the shopping and dining around Fifth Avenue and the Fashion Mall. I use 2nd Street probably 3 or 4 times a week just to get into town. I love it. It's quiet. It's safe. Yeah, it's great. Now here are some streets I avoid when going east to west across the width of Scottsdale. First, I avoid Camelback Road. It does have bike lanes, but the drivers seem to be more reckless on Camelback than on any of the other east-west streets in the area. There's only really one major east-west street left in Old Town, and that's Indian School Road. I do ride Indian School Road when I'm connecting to the Canal. You can ride it if you really want to. The bike lanes are extremely generous and buffered over between like 68th Street and Marshall or Scottsdale Road. I would say use your discretion. I don't recommend it, but I don't advise against it. Next, let's break into the north-south routes, which there are a lot of them, and they're a little more exciting. So I've mentioned this already a few times, the Greenbelt. This route runs from Tempe Town Lake all the way up into Scottsdale, past Old Town, and continues on into North Scottsdale. This is a great route for commuting between Tempe and Scottsdale, or if your Airbnb is really close to the Greenbelt, you could hop on the Greenbelt and then ride a few miles into Old Town. It's beautiful. It runs along golf courses, lakes. You get beautiful mountain views, lots of people out running and walking their dogs and biking. It's really wonderful. Another option similar to the Greenbelt is the Arizona Canal. So you can see that a canal runs through Old Town Scottsdale. Now this canal is one small piece of a massive network of canals that provides water to almost the entire state of Arizona. Most of the canals in the valley have frontage roads on either side of them, which are completely open to public recreation. Oftentimes, one or both of these frontage roads will include a paved bike path. Some key features of the canal are that it's separated from the road. The paths are very wide. The water is nice to look at, and the path is typically elevated, which gives you a better view of the valley. I'll mention one more canal that isn't really in Old Town, but is very close to it. That's the Crosscut Canal. The Crosscut Canal runs between Indian School and Papago Park. Up by Indian School, it runs along 64th Street. After Thomas Road, it splits away from 64th Street and runs along the canal all the way down into Papago Park. This is a great route to get to the Desert Botanical Garden or Hole in the Rock. Papago Park boasts an impressive trail system people like to use for mountain biking, trail running, or some light hiking. It provides surprisingly good views of the valley. The Crosscut Canal, like the Arizona Canal, is completely separated from any vehicular traffic. I recommend relying on the Arizona Canal, the Crosscut Canal, and the Greenbelt as much as possible. These 3 routes are safe, they're comfortable, and they immerse you in the beauty of the Sonoran Desert. I recommend 2 more on-street bike routes. The first is Invergorden Road. Invergorden serves 3 main purposes for me. 1, it has the Cholla trailhead for Camelback Mountain directly on it. Second, it leads to the Echo Canyon trailhead for Camelback Mountain. And third, if you're going for a longer ride, you can take Invergorden up to Paradise Valley. Paradise Valley has a ton of cycling, but I won't get into that here. I also like Miller Road. Miller Road runs from the Arizona Canal in the north all the way south down near Tempe Town Lake. It's a great alternative to the Greenbelt if the Greenbelt is flooded or closed for some reason. Just be careful on the section of Miller between Camelback and Indian School Road. There's a shopping center there that creates more traffic, and the bike lanes are a little less comfortable. The 2 streets I avoid are Hayden Road and Scottsdale Road. Hayden Road is a major arterial route through the city. There's really no reason to ride on the street because the Greenbelt is immediately next to it. Just take the Greenbelt. Scottsdale Road is a little more tempting because it has so many dining and shopping options. Let's say, for example, you're going to a restaurant at Lincoln and Scottsdale Road. Lincoln's a few miles north of Old Town. Rather than riding straight up Scottsdale Road for several miles, I would suggest taking the Arizona Canal up to Lincoln and then cutting across Lincoln to Scottsdale Road. So that's it. That's how I get around Scottsdale and how I would recommend others to do so as well. I hope this has been useful for you, and I will see you next time.